Hey guys, welcome to Kitaholic Kits YouTube channel. It's Corrine here today and I've got a 12 by 12 layout with August kit. I always feel like a robot when I do the introduction. I don't know why I never mix it up. I guess it's just easy to say the same thing over and over. So, on to this layout. I was a bit, stumped, I suppose, with how to use this background paper, and I saw a layout recently of one done, but it wasn't the paper made like this originally. It was a Paige Evans one or something, and it just had a heap of those flags, and somebody made it to be like this. So I was a bit I didn't want to cut it apart and then remake it myself, so I just went with what I had. And I decided to cut some of those banners out of the top there, so they could overlap the top of my photo. I find that way it kind of brings it together cohesively, whereas if I was just to shove the photo or the picture on top with the embellishments, then it would kind of, overlap, whereas this incorporates it into the clusters instead of just sticking it over the top. So that's what I'm going to do. I've just used an X-Acto knife or whatever, and I've just carefully cut just a little bit of them out, and I've decided to lay it on a bit of an angle because I just didn't want it straight on. I couldn't get it how I wanted it, so it had to be on the angle. And I'm just using these fussy cut flowers that I've cut out of that black and white paper, which I absolutely love. And that cut file there that I'm using is one that I used on my first project, on my first layout for the month. And it was a wreath and I hung it off the side, so that's the bit that I've got left. And I'm just going to cut those leaves apart and use them to stick underneath my clusters. Now that circle journaling thing that I've just put down, I absolutely adore that journaling spot. It really speaks to me. It's probably, I know it's a strange thing to focus on, but it is probably my favorite product of this kit. I know that's really crazy, considering all this beautifulness, but I don't know why. It's just really striking to my eye and I really like it. So I'm glad that I got to use it on this page, and I like how the black and white kind of pops differently with the colour of the top. So now I'm just going to go through and glue all this down. Now I made this layout yesterday afternoon and it took 30 minutes from start to finish, not including the fussy cutting, of course. That took 20 minutes to cut those out, but I cut out extras as well, so I'll have them for another layout. But other than that, it only took me half an hour to put it all together, so I was almost not going to edit the video and just see if Steph would like a real-time one, but I don't know about you guys, but I struggle a bit with watching real-time layouts. It's like I want to fast forward all the time because they're not going quick enough. I don't know why I'm like that. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but I could have just sped it up and left all of it in there, I suppose. But there's little bits and pieces where they're just empty space that you guys don't need to see, like me trimming something or cutting a border around my photos or something. So I've chopped off those bits and I've just left most of the other stuff. Honestly, I didn't take much out at all. And I really wanted to use this big camera. Now that ephemera pack had a lot of ginormous ephemera pieces, like just crazy sized. So I struggled a little bit to use a lot of them. So when I felt like that this was okay and pleasing to my eye, I just went with it and stuck it down, because otherwise I would hold on to things and they will never get used, or I just don't want things sitting in my stash. I don't need things. I've got so much stash, it's not funny. So I'm really in the mindset of just trying to use as much as I can on my layouts, especially when it comes to the kits, because I don't really use anything else every month. I tend to stick with the kits because I like to try and kill them. Otherwise, I'm going to end up with 30 odd kits sitting on my desk that I just never go back to, because that month I have the new kit and I need to use that. I don't scrapbook nearly enough at the moment, and obviously I am talking your ear off today, so I've got a lot to say. I've just finished at an excursion with my youngest daughter, who's also in the photo, Heidi. So we've been on an excursion today, so I've had a lot of, kid interaction and not a lot of adult interaction. So I guess that's why I'm a little bit more talkative today. So I hope that that's okay. So I know there's a lot of philosophical things to say about my scrapbooking, and in these voiceovers I tend to go into the meaning of why I do things a lot, or other days I will just skip over everything and just tell you about my life. So I hope that that's okay. I don't know. I enjoy watching videos of the same thing, you know. Sometimes it's nice to hear about somebody's life, and sometimes it's nice to hear why people do certain things on their pages. I don't need to explain every little thing, because that's what the video is for and you can see it. And I'm nearly finished, believe it or not. So I've used a couple of my stash items that I picked out, those little gold glitter things, that little white butterfly. I think that's it out of my stash. I tried to put a tassel on there, but it wasn't working. Same with the bow. All good. And I'm just going to call this one Joy Every Day. Sorry, I forgot. And I don't usually overlap the title like this, but I needed it to fit in where I wanted it to, so I did. I don't know if it will hold very well because they're both puffy. I've used extra glue, and I've just, hope that that's good enough. Now I'm going to turn it over because I didn't want anything peeking out the back and I wanted it protected, so I've just stuck white paper over the back. Nothing exciting. Adding some enamel dots, and we will call this layout done. So I'll add my journaling off screen because I don't even know what I'm going to say yet, which is super handy. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed my layout. And before I go, I just wanted to say I'll be back next week, but it'll be with this kit again, because this kit this month is a 5-week month, and you will have to wait until then for August, September. Oh my goodness, it's September's kit. Thanks for watching. Bye.